Welcome back to For Hire Garage, where we're just okay-ish. We're in the final stretches of this white Jeep. Next up, stab the motor and transmission in, get the transfer case in, fill it full of fluids, all the little hookups that we got to do. But before that, we need to move the transfer case shifter. Since this is a two-wheel drive and we're taking everything from a four-wheel drive, might as well convert this to a four-wheel drive. And make sure that we've got a fuel system. Does the fuel pump work? What's going on there? So let's get started on those things first, and then we'll get to the motor. Let's get to it. All right, one of the last things I forgot to do before we get too far in with the carpet is remove the four-wheel drive shifter plate. Since this was a two-wheel drive. Oh, where are you going? It's coming out. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Assuming I can just it's 25. There it goes. There we go. Look at that. Just comes right off. Alright, okay. That was that. Cool. That wasn't as hard as I thought. Okay, and then let's remove this one. Uh-oh. Is there nuts on the backside of this? The other one had like a nutsert looking thing in there. Alright, I just need both hands. Hopefully that camera shot's getting it. Nope. Alright, I gotta climb under there. Doesn't look like it. What is this? I gotta find this too. Forgot about that. Oh, that. Oh, and they're Allen heads at that. Oh. Okay. Oh my goodness, that was a bear. This comes off through there. And let's see. So much of this was the nutserts just broke off and stuck in. There we go. Okay. That gets that out. I'm going to have to cut that guy off, this guy the rest of the way off. And then we'll be ready to bolt it into the other one. And come in here with a blade and cut out this rubber and insulation. Yeah. So we can transfer it over to the other Jeep. So we've got the shifter out of the four-wheel drive. We removed the plate that's here, and this has got to go in there. The yeah, something like that. All right, pretty easy. These do tend to break, it seems like. So fortunately, the nutserts that are on the body side were still good, but I did have to find some oddball bolts to fit, but that's okay. It ain't coming back out. So, all right, on to the next thing. All right, little quick test I want to try is to see if I can engage the fuel pump to see if it works. Actually, let's go see. Let's go see how bad the fuel stinks. Actually, it doesn't smell bad at all. And 22 is like 3 years off the road, so it may not be that bad. But let's see if this works. I don't really know. Okay, what I have set up here is just a battery. The pump should be grounded to chassis, so I'm grounding the battery to the chassis, and then just a knockoff power probe. We're going to stab it in, see if it fires up. Oh! It works! And that gas doesn't look that bad. Well, it's definitely not gorgeous gas. Yeah, doesn't smell. It smells like bad gas, but it's not rancid. All right, got it hooked up to a gas can. That's probably gonna fall over. Not sure how much gas is in this thing. Let's secure this better. That'll probably be fine. Maybe. There we go. That feels a little better.
Two very boring minutes later.
That's pretty much a gallon. All right, after that, let's see what it is now. And this time I'm just gonna set the camera up. Okay. Still pretty yellow, but at least it's not, at least it's clear. I can see through it. The other first batch I couldn't see through. God, I don't know how much gas is in this thing. Off camera, I finished up with messing with the fuel pump, and I pumped out almost exactly 4 gallons of fuel, and all the vehicles got a gallon. So that just dilutes it out amongst the fleet, and I will go fill up a 5-gallon jug and refill up this tank when we're ready to fire this up. Okay, we've got the transfer case shifter installed. We went ahead and painted the floor, and we tested the fuel systems good. All we need to do now, stab that motor and transmission in. Let's get to work.
I said the hip, hop, the hippie, the hippie, the hippie, hip, hip, hop, and you don't stop the rocket to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, up, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what the hell is to the twist, I'm rapping to the beat. I mean the groove, and my friend, you're gonna try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Man, and I'd like to say hello. I do the black, to the white, the red, and the blue, the purple, and yellow. But first I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say up, the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie.
All right, she's in, mounted. Now we need to do is plug in all the hoses, wires, everything, make sure it's all routed. Fortunately, we've got a good running XJ that I can check against to make sure I have all the wires and plumbing routed through this thing the way it should be. All right, let's get at it. Okay, battery box in, power steering, lift it up. This was great, just keeping the hoses and the gearbox and just swapping everything over. Made that super easy. Come back here, ready to start plugging in the main harnesses. And I'm reminded that one of the tech tips that I could have is just real simply lay out your wiring harness how it's supposed to go. That was a relay. And you'll find where things need to go. Like this is clearly a ground. Oh, you can't see shit. Hang on. There we go. So these are the main plugs that all get plugged in here in a second. And this guy tucked in the back is clearly a ground. And when you lay everything out and you leave everything where it kind of needs to go, it's pretty clear where the ground goes. It just wants to rest where it's been resting for 20 years. So that's my tech tip, and I'm gonna keep going at it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oi. Oh, welcome to my struggle bus. Been working on these joint style shifter linkage, getting this installed in the Jeep, and they all seem to not be designed 100% and need a little bit of clearing. Honestly, this needs to be laser cut out better because it's just got too much slop. Like if it was just cut out better, it would be fine. But look how much slop is in that. That's crazy. And so, although it'll be tight, even if I tighten it back like this over time, it'll get pushed And I just want to make sure it'll go all the way into two-wheel drive. So if it gets pushed all the way over to one side, it was making contact with the transfer case, and this was a mirror image. This side was over there. That's how much I had to grind off in order to get it to clear. But from here, it should just all button up. It should be nice and easy. The only tip I have is use Loctite, because the other Jeep has this kit, and after not even hard wheeling, just the mountain trails of Colorado, it nearly fell apart, loosened up. It comes with these Nylock, and that Nylock's a bunch of BS. That doesn't actually do anything. The manufacturer comes with an actual locking nut where they pinch the end of the nut to help lock it down. That's much better, but I'd still use Loctite, because after you take this on and off a few times, that whole pinched locking thing isn't really working anymore. Okay, let me get it all installed. You'd think these would be easier, but setting them up is just kind of a pain in the ass, especially when you're working alone. You've got all these adjustments to lengthen it, space it, which hole do you pick, and you got to go top side to shift through the different, and it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. So, but I think I got it close enough. Whew. This is a good afternoon worth of work. We've got fluids in her. We've got a nut and bolt check done. I think I've got it all plugged in. Little piece here, little piece there. Still need to do AC, battery hold down, airbox, whole front end, but needed to get this part in to get the radiator in. And so that I didn't puke transmission fluid everywhere. But I think we're ready for the fire up. So first thing we're going to do, it's been sitting for a while. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is pull the fuel pump relay. There we go. So we're not pumping fuel. It's still completely dry at this point. And we crank it over. See if it'll crank and get it pumping fluids through it before we fire it up. So let's do that first. All right. Let's see if it'll even crank. I need a new ignition key too. Oh, come on. Do something silly like step on the brake. There we go. Here we go. I don't know if I have power. I have no power. Uh-oh. New problem. Yeah, found the problem. Something got excited back there. Okay, let's try this again. Sorry for the darkness. Charlie Murphy! Oh, I got beepings. Yeah, it needs a new ignition key bad. The whole like a module. I might transfer that over from the... Oh, here we go. I got lights on the inside. Woo. Ah, we're turning over. Woo, she turns fast. All right. 1,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 1,000, 10,000. What do you think? That's probably good. Oh yeah. There's no exhaust on this thing, so if it fires up, it's gonna be loud. Okay. Gonna pause, check the oil real quick. Little low, but good enough to fire up. So let's give it a shot. Hopefully you don't fall. You can oh, there we go. All right. See what happens. Think I heard it? All right, gonna let fluid settle down, check everything. It is a new day, new t-shirt. Been working on this so much, I've run out of the crankshaft cultured shirts. They're all in the dirty laundry. All right, now that we've seen it running, next, need to get it out on the road. So we gotta build the whole front end. Might as well install the rest of the AC stuff and airbox, get everything all buttoned up underneath the hood, and interior we can wait on, but the front part is a must do. So let's get at it. Okay, let's see what happens when you turn the key on. Come on. I need to replace that. There it goes. All right, keys on, and we turn the fan on. Oh, it's on low. Nothing. Oh, tell me I don't have to get into... What am I hearing? What is going on? It sounds like it's in like a vacuum module or something. Yeah, the fan should at least turn on. Yeah. It sounds like maybe the blend door or something is freaking out. Oh, yeah, that's what it is, because it was on heater. Yeah, It sounds like the blowers do it there. See, it's trying to switch over. Yeah, something's horribly wrong here. Tell me I don't have to pull the dash. That's going to be a problem for another time. Okay, the goal is to get this out on the road, and unfortunately, we've hit some sort of roadblock with the HVAC system, or whatever you want to call it in there. I don't know if it's fixable or if I'm looking at a whole dash removal, and then do I remove the dash out of the rear-ended Jeep? I think if I'm full dash removal to get to the box, get the box out and replace it with the box in there, I probably will just replace this dash with that dash, since this one has 320,000 miles on it and that one's only got like 180,000 miles on it. So I'm sure it's much cleaner. I've seen signs, I don't know if I've put it in video or not, but I've seen signs that they did do some maybe water crossings. So there could be just a bunch of mud inside the dash. I don't know. Because of that, none of that's going to make it in this video. I might just do a dash removal video at some point. Additionally, at least for a short while, the kid can live without AC and heat. I did. So with that said, I think I'm going to not install all the I'm not going to install all the AC system, because I'll have to get back here and remove these bolts, unplug the, I don't have enough coffee in me this morning, whatever that's called. So I think I'll just leave all that out for now. I've got the battery box installed. I still need to find the brace that goes across. I've got the rest of this installed. I replaced the headlight harness. I don't know if you saw that in videos. The other one was pretty eaten up, and then I found where they had cut and spliced and did a terrible, like, just twist tie splice kind of style. So it just unplugs over here, and you can just swap it out for the other one. So I got all that done. Still need to put the air box in, but before I build the front end out, I do need to put the bumper on and get the fenders on. So that's the next step. All right, we are down to the last few things. One of them being this cobbled together exhaust. I think what I'm going to do is get this up in place, loosely put some bolts on the exhaust manifold end, and then I've got behind me the aftermarket catalytic converter that was on it. After I get it all up into place, I'll be able to kind of hold this up, figure out how much I can chop off of this, how much I can chop off of that. I bought some slip connectors. So I'm going to redo, but better, the cobbling of this exhaust. So let's get at it. We got this one all put up, stuck in through that little rubber bushing. And this guy, I think goes, yeah, no, it's got to go this way because the O2 sensor goes downstream. So it goes on, actually will slip over that end, and then it's supposed to slip over that end, but I don't know what's going on here. Kind of want to cut way back here and just slip it on this end, put a clamp on it, and then redo the pipe from the muffler to the cat and put a clamp on this end so that the cat is removable in case anybody wants to steal it. I hate this boogering, but it doesn't look like it's been leaking, so that's some sticky booger. All right, I think I'm gonna cut right behind this weld. That'll give me enough room there. This hopefully will slip over that and I can weld that up. And then I'll look for a clean pipe, maybe even reuse this pipe. This one, not this one. And go from here to here. Something like that. I kind of want to clean this up too. Cut some of that out and install something else right there. So we're gonna get to cutting and see what happens. All right. We've got this guy gasket up there replaced. The donut thing. Got it all bolted up tight up there. Don't know why that kicks down like that, but it does. So we're gonna have to bring it up and back, and hopefully we can do that with just wiggling this guy on. Give him a little pat on and figure out what and how much of a chute we're gonna have to bring back here. Hopefully I can get this back off. Man, that's crazy. Okay, so the thought was I could weld this up like that, and then this guy go on there about like that. Alright, so there's some swing on that guy. I think that's about the best I can do. Okay, there's still plenty. Alright. Wow. Alright, I need a measuring tape, and I've got my Sharpie, and I need, I think, a magnet, a mega magnet. Okay. Be right back. Alright, a new plan is forming. I'm wondering if I could just do something like this. Just weld this guy on, and then a clamp here around that, and a clamp here. I don't dislike it. That way. Let's go. See, one of the things I'm looking at is, see how this has already got a bend in it. So I could use that to help bend it up. Either way, I think I want to cut right about here. Alright, I'm going to cut this, see how that comes out. Alright, we got this guy trimmed down. Let's see. What does it look like? Can we line these guys up? Wait, maybe we just take that out. Picture. And we just sort of do something. This is not much better than what was in here. All right, I think I'm actually going to clamp on this side. I think I'm going to weld here and here and hopefully be able to get everything in. Okay, got her cleaned up. Gonna get her up into position here. I'm gonna pop in some tacks, and then we're gonna take this section over to the bench and weld it up. Cross our fingers and hope we got it right. It's not going to be. All right. To be perfectly honest, it's not too bad. Hopefully the clamps, like what we'll do is we'll get in here, put it in, put the jack on it right about there, and then run the clamps down on either side, and hopefully that'll hold it in place about like that, which it's not any lower than the transfer case. I think that might work. Take it apart, take it to the bench, weld her up. Gonna do a couple more tacks and then I'm gonna work my way around. When you have these big gaps like this, I tend to start on this piece and let the weld build up to this. Now this isn't structural, so all I'm trying to do is seal it basically, and the act of sealing is going to make it strong enough that we get to go. Yeah, it seems to be working. Even here where I got a nice fit, I'm still welding here and just barely touching the edge. If you're new to welding, it has to do with heat and melting the metal. It's harder to melt through when you're welding straight onto a surface than it is on the edge. Picture a piece of paper. If you took a torch and you tried to light it in the middle, it takes longer to catch that paper on fire than if you were to start on the edge. Same principle. You get hot. So damn hot, so an orange robe burst into flames. Welded up, cooled off. Let's see if I can get this to go in. Yeah. Okay. This was the tricky part last time. Oh, look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad. So I think I've squished it up as high. I mean, I've just jammed this thing up in there. Let's get my... Just jammed it up there so that it'll sag down a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that needs to be zipped out of the way. Yeah.
Taking a nap?
Hey, Dad. Trying to weld up and install exhaust.
Oh.
Most of the way done. See how much it sags. Woo, perfect. Ah, nice.
Got it in?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I might have to address a rattle later, but... And I need to move this. Can I go through there? Oh, I can't. Sweet. I got a O2 sensor wire awfully close to my drive shaft. Nothing a zip tie won't fix. All right. Fire this puppy up and see what happens. Okay, it sounded great, but I got the thing. Might as well see what it looks like. Smoke machine's all fired up. I got the Cheech and Chong coming out. I got the banana in the tailpipe. Let's plug it in. Give it a few minutes, see what happens. Well, there's a massive leak behind the muffler. But that's behind the muffler. So I don't know if I care about that. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it is just puffing away. Look at that. But for my work, I don't see anything. Let's come up here to the manifold. Yeah. I don't see anything up here either. Oh, that's looking good. All right. Thought I'd get a side shot here. It is not ideal. It does hang down by probably 3 inches or so from the transfer case. It hangs down quite a bit. However, it is for a 16-year-old, and it is a stock XJ that is not going to see much, if any, off-roading. So it'll be a while before I come back in here and redo this exhaust better. But I will probably do so at some point. I now see a little bit of an exhaust leak here. Oh, it's hard to see. I can see with my eye that there is in fact an exhaust leak right here. I don't know if that's coming through on tape or not. So I think I'll give this a few more ugga-duggas, and that's going to be good enough for what it is. This is now the second used U-bolt that I've snapped. Now, they are used. I'm trying to save some money here. But even if I get this tight enough to seal, I think it's still going to sag, and that's just the nature of it wanting to point down because of that issue over there, and then there's just a rubber hanging bushing over there. So I think since I just want it up higher, I think the short-term fix is I just weld on a hanger right to this metal lip and right to that to hold it up. The saga of the exhaust. This is supposed to be quick and simple. It's never that way, right? Okay, this is what we're attempting to do. Let's see if we can make it work. Yeah, I think that'll hold-ish. Okay. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's see if it works. Ha! That is a win. And at one point, this was rubbing right in that corner a little bit. You could hear a little bit about, and I'm fairly certain it's this. And that is the improvement in terms of raising it. It is still lower than the transfer case, but it used to be lower than even the cross member. And although I think that U-bolt sticks down slightly below the cross member, the rest of it is up much higher. All right, that's going to do it for the exhaust. I think we're ready for the test drive. That wraps it up. I've got all the boring stuff installed. I just kind of skipped over to get knocked out because in 30 minutes I need to be on the road to have a new windshield installed, as it's all cracked up. But I don't remember what made tape. We'll do a walkover real quick. Got the fenders on, got the bumper on, got the front grille on, got some aftermarket headlights on. Got it relatively situated. I think we're ready for the test drive, and hopefully everything goes well, because we got to turn right around and head to Safelite to get new windshield. So let's pull it out of here and see how it handles on the road. Here at the light, after driving through the neighborhood, got great temperature and fantastic low pressure. I'm like, is that thing even working? Yeah, get some revs and it's going up. That's wild. Charging, you need to get gas, only put 5 gallons in it. So, that's where I'm headed. The cleanest thing on this whole Jeep. Look at that new window. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Appreciate you guys hanging in there through the whole build. Clearly there's still little things here and there that need to be wrapped up. And I'm going to continue to work on those so that it's nice and clean. But it's running, driving, it's registered, insured, the whole bam. It's pretty much ready for them to go. Now, if there's any more material, like I haven't figured out the issue with the HVAC system, if it's worthy of a video, I'll shoot some more video on it. But for now, this is the end of the completion video. Anything more will just be sort of like an addition, like how to remove a dash. For the love of God, I hope I don't have to do that. So, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.